this is a PSA out there for always doing your walkthrough right before closing. I am serious, not even like 3 hours before. Don't do it 24 hours before. Do it 1 hour before closing, right before closing. And the reason why is because this last week I had a closing where I'd never had this happen before. We walked through and we found an active leak in the house. Ugh. And so what happened was, no, this leak was not there before when we had negotiated due diligence, but now there it is. And so the sellers have an obligation to convey the house in the condition that it was when we went under contract, and everything else you're supposed to get negotiated through due diligence. And so this was a new thing that was found. And so the remedy for it, I mean, I had to problem solve a whole bunch. It honestly took me my entire day. But the first thing I did was I definitely asked the list agent about it. She thought that water had spilled out of a freezer that was moved, and that sounded plausible. I called my inspector, and the inspector got over there. Thankfully, he could do that to take a look, and he climbed up into the attic and he found that there was an active leak. And so what we ended up doing is we had this company that we were working with before to fix a different leak. And we had an escrow amendment drafted up. And what this does is it holds a certain amount of money that is negotiable in escrow from the seller proceeds. So, and it's made out to the company that is going to do this work. This is in lieu of before you ever have an idea of even what the correct diagnosis of the issue is, and thus you do not have a repair for it yet or an estimate for the repair. So you hold, enough money, you overshoot it to be held in escrow by the closing attorney. And you go ahead and you go to closing, and then this company comes in and they do their diagnosis and they come up with the repair and they generate the estimate, and then they fix it. And then the closing attorney pays out of this escrow account, pays that company for the fix. And then the closing attorney sends the rest of the money, what is left over, to the sellers. And so, thankfully, I had never experienced this before, but this is how you can still close relatively on time and make sure everything is as it should be. So don't forget, always do your walkthrough right before closing. Bye.